Tell me honestly. Have you ever witnessed a moment that felt like destiny itself was unfolding right in front of your eyes? A moment that was more than music, more than art, more than fame, but a whisper of something bigger. That's what happened at Frieze Seoul, when Taehyung, BTS's very own V, appeared with ALLDAY Project, stood beside world-renowned DJ Peggy Gou, and delivered a speech that left people speechless. And somewhere in the background, RM, the thoughtful leader of BTS, watching silently like a guardian. If you love BTS, if you believe their journey holds hidden messages for ARMY and beyond, then hit that subscribe button right now, because what I'm about to share with you isn't just an event recap. It's a story, revelation, and maybe even a lesson we can all take home. The moment Taehyung appeared, the room was alive with art. Frieze Seoul isn't just an event. It's where creativity breathes. Paintings, sculptures, installations. Everywhere you looked, the air itself felt like a canvas. And then, in the middle of it all, Taehyung walked in. No spotlight announced him. No loudspeaker blared his name. Yet the atmosphere shifted instantly. You know how sometimes silence is louder than noise? That's what his presence felt like. People stopped mid-sentence. Cameras lifted. Gasps escaped lips before anyone even realized they were staring. Taehyung wasn't dressed to dominate the room. He was dressed to belong in it. Effortless, elegant, almost as if he himself was a piece of art placed carefully within the gallery. His eyes scanned the room, calm, thoughtful, yet filled with something unspoken. And here's the thing. When Taehyung enters a space, he doesn't just arrive. He anchors it. He makes the room his without demanding it. That's rare. That's why people call him not just an idol, but a living canvas. But this time there was something different. He wasn't just there to be seen. He was there to say something, to show something. And the words ALLDAY Project appeared on the screen behind him. The ALLDAY Project connection. Now, for many in the audience, those words were unfamiliar. ALLDAY Project. What was it? Why here? Why Taehyung? For Taehyung, it wasn't just about promoting a collaboration. It was about bringing attention to something that blends art, fashion, music, and identity. The ALLDAY Project isn't just a brand. It's a philosophy. It represents creativity that never sleeps, passion that doesn't rest, a dream that exists. All day, every day. And isn't that what BTS has always stood for? Persistence, dedication. The belief that music and art aren't part-time passions. They're a lifetime heartbeat. Taehyung spoke gently but with weight. His voice carried the idea that I wasn't just about clothes or art. It was about living your truth in every moment. And suddenly the connection made sense. Who better than V? An artist who paints with music, who performs with his soul, who lives art instead of chasing it, to carry that message. People nodded. Some even teared up, because it wasn't just about a project. It was about identity. But just as the audience was absorbing this, another surprise unfolded. Peggy Gou and the unexpected speech. Beside Taehyung stood Peggy Gou, an icon in her own right. A Korean DJ and producer who conquered global stages, making Berlin, London, and New York dance to her beats. She represents something powerful. Korea, not just exporting K-pop, but electronic music, underground vibes, fashion, freedom. When Peggy Gou took the mic, her energy contrasted with Taehyung's calm. She was fiery, sharp, unapologetic. Yet the two complemented each other perfectly. Like yin and yang, melody and beat, art and rhythm. They didn't just talk about art. They talked about connection. About how music and creativity can break walls that politics and cultures often build. Then came the moment nobody expected. Taehyung leaned forward, looked at the crowd, and asked, "Have you ever felt small in this world? Like your voice doesn't matter?" That's why I believe in projects like this. 'Cause art gives us a voice, even when we think we're silent. And right there, silence fell across the hall. This wasn't just an idol promoting a project. This was Taehyung, the boy from Daegu, who once doubted if his dreams mattered, reminding everyone that even the smallest voice carries weight if it's true. Peggy Gou smiled, almost like she was agreeing not just with his words, but with his heart. And then, the cameras caught something. RM's silent influence. Standing a few steps behind, quietly observing, was Kim Namjoon RM. He didn't rush to the stage. He didn't grab the mic. But his presence was undeniable. You know how sometimes a leader doesn't need to speak, because their silence already guides the moment. That's what RM was in that room. For ARMY. Seeing him there wasn't just a coincidence. It was a reminder of the bond between BTS members. Even when one stands in the spotlight, the others are never far. And think about it. RM, the philosopher, the writer of words that heal, standing silently while Taehyung, the artist, the painter of emotions, spoke his truth. It was symbolic, almost like passing a torch of expression from one member to another. You could almost imagine RM's thoughts. That's my brother. That's our voice, even when I don't speak. And in that silent support, the speech gained even more weight. What this means for BTS and ARMY. For many watching, this moment wasn't just about Taehyung or Peggy Gou. It was about what BTS has always represented. Growth, evolution, unity. BTS isn't just a group frozen in one identity. They're individuals who step into the world with their own voices. And yet, somehow, those voices always echo back to each other. When Taehyung spoke of art, ARMY heard the same sincerity that BTS has sung for years. When Peggy Gou stood beside him, fans saw the global bridges BTS has always built. And when RM stood in silence, people felt the unbreakable bond of brotherhood that keeps the group alive, even as they walk their own paths. For ARMY, it was emotional. It was like watching puzzle pieces fall into place. The deeper message behind it all. But let's look deeper. Why does this matter to you? To me? To anyone listening? Because in Taehyung's words, even the smallest voice matters. There's a universal truth. Many of us feel invisible, like our dreams are too small, our voices too quiet. But moments like this remind us, it's not the volume of your voice that matters. It's the truth inside it. Taehyung was once a boy who wondered if he would ever debut. Peggy Gou was once a young girl spinning records in underground clubs, doubted by many. RM was once a teenager criticized for chasing rap. And yet, here they are, shaping culture, inspiring millions. The message: if they can rise from doubt to destiny, so can you. Heartfelt goodbye. So when Taehyung stood at Frieze Seoul with ALLDAY Project, gave his speech beside Peggy Gou, and RM quietly stood nearby, it wasn't just an event. It was a story about art, courage, brotherhood, and truth. And maybe, just maybe, it was also a reminder for you that your voice matters, your art matters, your dream matters. Even if the world doesn't see it yet, one day they will. So let me ask you, what's your all-day project? What's that dream in your heart that deserves to live? Not just sometimes, but all the time. If BTS taught us anything, it's this: live it, believe it, and never let it go. And if this story touched you, if you felt even a spark of inspiration, then subscribe now, because there are more stories like this waiting to be told. Stories that remind us we're not alone. Until next time, keep your voice alive. Because even the smallest whisper can become a roar.